Hey, welcome back. I've got a bit of a special build for you today, as it's the fastest viable scouts build for Arabia. This is using Mongols to utilize their 40% faster hunters, and you can get to feudal age on 14 villagers without LOOM. This puts you up at 6 minutes and 45 seconds, and by 9 minutes 30, you already have 5 scouts on the field. To achieve this, we need to do some extremely efficient tricks, all while scouting for our boars, deer, and sheep. It took me about 30 attempts to get 0 idle time in Dark Age using a fresh boar only map, so I wouldn't suggest trying for this uptime on a boar map unless you have favorable scouting and really good early efficiency. For boar Arabia, you need 2 deer push, but for elephant rhino, you just need 1, so it's much easier there. Anyways, all will be revealed soon, so let's get into it. First, build 2 houses as usual. You'll want to begin scouting with your starting sheep as soon as possible. Keep 1 sheep under your town center. Shift queue your builders to straggler trees. Bringing 30 wood back to the TC here is key to affording your mill and lumber camp. The first spawned villager goes to sheep. When your woodcutters bring the 10 wood back, make sure to garrison them so they teleport from 1 tile away, which reduces walk time. As soon as you see your boar, bring it in. Let any sheep that's left rot, as you need everything on hunt from here. As soon as you see your deer, start pushing them, as you'll need 2 in quite fast. In terms of efficiency under the town center, you don't want everything on boar, since once the boar finishes, you won't be able to fit them all on the smaller deer. Instead, split villagers a bit on your hunt, so you can reduce the walking time when changing animals. The more villagers that have to be retasked at once, the bigger the pathing disaster that will occur. You should be able to find the second boar by now, so for this one, send a villager to chop a straggler tree that's on the way to the boar. Once that villager has 10 wood, get it to lure the boar so you can bring in the boar and 10 wood back in 1 trip. You'll just need to collect 10 more wood in order to afford your prerequisite buildings, so collect that at some point. During the 12 out of 15 population timing, send a villager to wood and also to berries. They need to start their respective building at around 50% completion on 13 out of 15 population. If done with a high level of efficiency, you should be able to click up on 14 villagers no loom, or 435 sharp. If you can't hit this timing, just get loom and click up after. On the way up, send up to 3 villagers on wood, 2 to berries, and the rest on stragglers until you're confident you can afford the barracks, house, and stable. I don't send too many to the woodline here, as after your stable can be afforded, you'll need to put those villagers back on sheep. Villagers collect around 50 wood on the way to feudal age, which means they will collect around an additional 25 wood from 50% up to feudal. Using these numbers, you can make a good guess as to when you can take villagers off straggler. Ideally, you have just barely 175 wood on up. This will mean you can maximize your food income, which will lead to more scouts. Make sure to have your barracks started at 60% up, as well as don't forget the house. On feudal age, we use 2 villagers to build the stable. Since we're not really too concerned with having that great of an economy here, skip double bit axe in favor of scout production, and overload berries with like 6 villagers there. The rest of your vills can stay on sheep until it gets too saturated. Then you can just send new vills to wood and make farms as usual. Get loom at some point as well, preferably before your villagers are in danger. At 9:30, you should have 5 scouts produced. After this point, it might be worth it to save for double bit axe. And that's it. This build is quite difficult to execute, but I challenge all you build order nerds to try it.